Okay, hello. My name is Dr. Anthony Basil, and I'd like to talk a little bit about how course directors can create a positive student experience in this talk for South Bank University. So to give a little bit of context, you, the audience, will be the course director, and I'm presenting this as a kind of outline or induction. Now, part of my doctorate was looking at what I call the PAP model, pre, at, and post. So this is having online questions before we would do this discussion. This would have an opportunity to have a blended learning experience during the live event using this system just like we are right now with web video conferencing. And then also posting live follow-up activities online so that we'd be able to continue the dialogue. Of course, we'd want to have a kind of peer-to-peer course director observation system for support so that the course directors would be able to help each other in reaching their goals. So what are the elements of this positive student experience? How are these elements going to be defined? Well, I think in this short video, we'll probably ask more questions than provide answers. And one of the areas that we want you to think about would be the strategies that are going to be used and how they can be then used to form an action plan to design and develop the curriculum. Not only for the academics involved, but also administrators. So all the stakeholders will need to be involved in this. So looking at the positive student experience, what elements compose this? A lot of times we tend to think about things from a top-down approach. What do the academics and developers want? But it's important to also remember to get that bottom-up approach. So one of the first exercises that I would encourage is to get the course directors, the lecturers, the module leaders, get these people to define the profile of the student. So I would say pause the video here and write down some of the elements of your specific student profile. One example that I have here is that English might be a second language. And if that's the case, you're going to need to adjust your curriculum. You're going to need to provide that additional support as needed. So if you pause the video, write down some of the characteristics of your student profile, and then in a minute, turn the video back on. Okay, we're ready to go now and take a look at what are the perceptions, the starting perceptions of the students. So this is important. What do the students expect? What are they looking for specifically in that particular course or module, but then for the program overall and from the university? If you don't know what their expectations are, it's difficult to meet them. And sometimes the students don't know what their expectations are. They need to make those explicit. So one area that you might want to consider when you're talking about this positive student experience would be looking at the student as a client. What criteria make learning positive? Well, there's going to be short-term solutions, short-term definitions of that, and then there'll also be kind of long-term across the whole program. So short-term specifically for that module or course, and long-term for their entire time getting their degree. And it's important to have as your strategy ways of collecting that data. All right. Yes, of course, you've got the National Student Survey at the end, but you can build into your review model opportunities to collect data from students, and it doesn't have to be the same group. You can rotate it around so you're not giving the students too many surveys. Um, uh, uh, but also tie into that opportunities to have informal interviews with the students. You know, it might be nested in some other activity, some social event, or if you have a reward mechanism set up where the students can come and have pizza with the dean, or an opportunity to chat with the module leaders or the program leaders. This is a valuable way of getting that data, getting that information, finding out more about the student profile, and adjusting your curriculum so that you can have that positive student experience. So finishing off here then, one of the things that I would want to summarize with will be some of the key academic drivers. So here you can see, of course, we've got the learning events, we've got the course director involved, we've got the student communicating directly with the course director, perhaps through email, perhaps at the end of a lecture. But it's very important that we complete this triangle with the student-to-student support mechanism. So the students have an understanding of what the assessment is, what the criteria is, learning how to engage with the students in those learning opportunities. That's quite valuable. Can you put into the curriculum perhaps some type of active learning through a game design, or another area which is very powerful for the students are computer simulations. Can they go through a simulated event as a team to be able to come up with the conclusions, come up with the solutions? So it's an applied learning that they're experiencing, not just the theory, but being able to take the theory and put it into practice. And of course, we have the situation here where, as I mentioned before, we've got that learning triangle for peer-to-peer support. Having that study partner is really valuable. Okay, well, I hope this has been helpful, and please do contact me if you have any questions. My email is abasil, ABASIEL, @gmail.com. Thanks very much for your time.